If your cat scratches the sofa, wakes you up at night, asks for food right after dinner, or suddenly jumps out from around the corner, she is not necessarily being naughty. Sometimes the reason is simpler. She is bored at home. Cat boredom often looks like personality, laziness, or a whim. Toward the end, you will learn what you can change today to help your cat become calmer and to better understand her signals. The first sign of boredom is hard to miss. It leaves traces. New scratch marks appear on the sofa, the remote ends up on the floor, a plant lies next to its pot, and the cat looks at you as if none of this has anything to do with her. At moments like this, it is easy to think, she's doing this on purpose, especially if you work from home. First, the cat walks across the keyboard. Then she paws at your cup or the charging cable. You move her away once, twice, 3 times. And when she still does not get enough attention, she chooses something that is guaranteed to get a reaction. Furniture, curtains, shelves, or the edge of the table. But your cat is not planning to ruin your day. She needs something to do. Scratch, jump, explore, check scents. If everything at home stays the same, if toys have been lying on the floor for weeks, if there is no comfortable scratching post, no higher spot to climb to, or no interesting window, the cat starts creating events on her own. For her, an object knocked off a table is movement. A rustling bag is sound. Your "hey, stop that" is a reaction. And the sofa sometimes becomes a way to stretch her paws and release energy. So the question is not how to punish her, but what she is missing. Often, the answer is simple. More places to scratch, more height, short play sessions, and a little novelty. But boredom does not always turn into chaos. Sometimes the cat does not break anything. She simply decides that you will be the main entertainment in the house. Some cats seem to be connected to their owner by an invisible thread. You go to the kitchen. She follows you. You close the bathroom door. She is already on the other side. You sit down for a Zoom call. That is exactly when the cat needs to walk in front of the camera or lie down on the keyboard. Of course, part of this behavior is attachment. Cats can enjoy company and look forward to familiar rituals. But if attention is needed constantly, if the cat seems unable to occupy herself even for a minute, if she quickly loses interest in a toy, but then demands your reaction again, it may be boredom. Imagine the day of an indoor cat. In the morning, the human is in a rush. Then comes several hours of screens, calls, tasks, and silence. The toy is lying in the same place as yesterday. Everything is predictable. And the cat tries to connect. Meow, paw on your hand, lie on your documents, touch what she is not allowed to touch. Even an irritated "come on, stop it" can become a reward. The human looked, spoke, stood up, moved. In the cat's world, that is already an event. The cat sees the human nearby, but she does not always get shared activity. And what she often needs is a small scenario. Notice the toy, sneak up on it, jump, catch it. If your cat constantly demands attention, look at the timing. Does she do it after a long period of silence? When you sit down with your laptop? This makes it easier to understand whether she is asking for affection, food, play, or simply movement. And now, an unexpected twist. A bored cat is not always noisy. Sometimes she looks very convenient. She just sleeps, does not bother anyone, and seems to want nothing. Cats really do sleep a lot, and sleep itself is not a problem. Many cats look like true masters of relaxation. They curl up, open one eye, make sure the world is still in place, and fall asleep again. But there is a difference between a calm cat and a cat that seems as if her spark has gone out. She used to run to the box from a delivery, but now she does not even come over. She used to react to birds outside the window, but now she does not lift her head. She used to join an evening play, but now she just lies there and stares at one spot. We are used to thinking that a bored cat is a tiny household hurricane, but sometimes boredom works the opposite way. If nothing changes at home for a long time, if games are always the same, and if there is nothing to explore, the cat may stop trying. Not because she feels good, but because the day promises nothing. At the same time, you should not blame every sign of apathy on boredom. If your cat's behavior changed suddenly, if she hides, refuses food, reacts painfully to touch, uses the litter box worse than usual, or simply does not seem like herself, it is better to discuss it with a veterinarian. The reason may be health, pain, stress, or age. The practical point is simple. Observe her interest. Does your cat notice something new? Does she respond to familiar rituals? Does she have moments of curiosity? Her day should have sparks. Watching out the window, hunting a toy, exploring a box, wanting to climb higher. If there are fewer of those sparks, gently bring the environment back to life. A new box, a spot by the window, a toy that does not just lie around in plain sight, but appears like an event. Boredom does not always shout. Sometimes it simply makes the day feel flat. And sometimes the main event of the day is not a toy, not a window, and not a box. It is the bowl. Many owners know this look. The cat sits next to the bowl as if she has not been fed in ages, even though dinner was recent. She meows by the treat cupboard, runs at the sound of a bag, and looks at you as if breakfast is already late. Sometimes the cat really is hungry. Sometimes the diet, feeding schedule, or health requires attention. But there are also cases when requests for food are not so much about hunger as they are about boredom. Food is a guaranteed event. The human gets up, opens the cupboard, rustles the bag. A smell appears, and the day that was standing still suddenly comes alive. Imagine that the only bright event in your day was the moment the fridge opened. You would wait for it with interest too. For a cat, feeding is connected not only with fullness, but also with action. Noticing, tracking, catching. At home, food simply appears in the bowl. That is convenient, but poor in experience. That is why some cats ask for food again and again, not because they are cleverly manipulating you, but because they want a process with anticipation and a result. The solution is not always to pour less food into the bowl. It is important to make feeding more interesting. Food puzzles, slow feeder bowls, treat dispensing toys, or a small search for treats in safe places. If your cat suddenly started asking for food more than usual, is gaining or losing weight, refuses her usual food, or shows other unusual signs, it is better to talk to a veterinarian. But if your cat is healthy and food has become her main entertainment, give her not only calories, but also a task. And yet, boredom does not look for an outlet only through the food bowl. Sometimes it turns into movement that appears at the worst possible moment, in the evening, when you are already dreaming of peace and quiet. The loudest sign of boredom often switches on exactly when the human wants to rest. The house gets darker, you sit down on the sofa or get ready for bed, and suddenly, a small furry rocket flies out of the hallway. The cat races through the room, hides around the corner, and attacks your legs. If there is another cat or a dog in the house, they may also receive an invitation to this wild game. Some evening running is normal. Many cats have periods of activity when they want to move and check their territory. But if the attacks become frequent or rough, if one pet constantly chases another, if fights, fear, or injuries appear, it is no longer something to brush off as, she's just having fun. A bored cat may invent her own hunt. A foot under the blanket becomes prey. Another cat's tail becomes a moving target. The corner of the hallway turns into an ambush spot. And the less normal activity she had during the day, the brighter the evening explosion may be. In small apartments, this is especially noticeable. Sofa, kitchen, windowsill, bedroom, and back again. If there is no chance to climb, jump, and safely spend energy, the cat uses what is available. And sometimes what is available is your legs. Do not demonize this behavior. The cat is not necessarily trying to ruin your sleep. She may simply be choosing the most lively object in the house. Your task is to redirect that energy somewhere safer for everyone. Play before dinner or before bedtime, a wand toy, a short chase, the chance to catch the prey, and then calm down. If the attacks look like real aggression, if the cat hisses, hides, has changed suddenly, reacts painfully to touch, or has started having litter box problems, it is better to involve a veterinarian or a behavior specialist. And now the main question: what should you do if you recognize your cat? Most of the time, you do not need to turn your home into a cat amusement park. You can start with small but smart changes. The biggest mistake is thinking that a cat simply needs a pile of toys. In reality, she needs a living scenario. A toy that has been lying on the floor for a month practically disappears for the cat. It is much more interesting when toys rotate. Today, a wand toy, tomorrow a ball, then a box, then the favorite mouse again, but only after a break. What matters to a cat is the imitation of a hunt. First, the prey appears, then it hides, then it moves as if trying to escape. The cat watches, freezes, sneaks up, makes a dash, and catches it. Even 10 or 15 minutes of this kind of mindful play can give more than a toy randomly tossed across the floor. Space also helps. A scratching post, a stable cat tree, a safe shelf, a spot by the window, a simple delivery box. All of this makes the home less flat. For a cat, this is a new route and a new reason to check the world. Feeding can also be made more interesting. A puzzle bowl, a food toy, or a few pieces of food hidden in safe places. That way, the cat does not just receive food, she works with her nose and paws. Do not wait for a perfect schedule. Your cat can have small islands of activity. Play before dinner, a new box, an open curtain by a safe window, 5 minutes with a wand toy, calm attention without a phone. Sometimes a cat does not need an expensive gadget. She needs the day to become a little less predictable. The main idea is simple. A cat cannot say, "I'm bored." Instead, she speaks through behavior, scratching furniture, demanding attention, becoming indifferent, asking for food, launching attacks, or bothering other pets. And when we see this not as mischief, but as a message, the relationship becomes calmer. This is not a reason to feel guilty. It is a reason to become more attentive. Even small changes can give your cat movement and curiosity. Write in the comments which of these signs you have noticed in your cat: furniture, meowing, sleep, food, or evening attacks. If this video helped you see your cat in a new way, like it and subscribe. Here, we explain cats clearly and without boring theory.